Hey everyone, my name is Tom. We're here on a LIMBO Livestream, so welcome everyone. Today we'll take the opportunity to talk a little bit about LIMBO and its capabilities. I think it's the first time you're seeing it live, so it would be a great chance to actually have a live session with you guys and figure out if you have any questions, etc. And we'll also share with you a little bit of tidbits of how we made LIMBO and what's inside it, etc. It's gonna be fun, and I'm looking forward to having you here and taking your questions. So please feel free to just type your questions. I see we already have one. Okay, the first guy, Igor. Yes. Any picture of different bases? Well, we'll try to show you some different bases. We have them here. So those are made from different materials, transparent and the black version. We have a white base as well.
This is not the final version.
But it's not the final version.
This.
Okay, and that's probably going to be the production version.
It will be branded.
And it will be branded, of course. Now, the thing is, we are trying to still fine-tune the bases, because the friction is what makes all the difference on the quality of spin for LIMBO. I'll try to break it down for you a little bit. The way LIMBO works is by actually exerting some lateral forces on the surface as well as the spin, So if the surface is too smooth, the quality of spin actually will degrade in some cases. So we're trying to really fine-tune the granularity of the base material and the surface finish and stuff like that. And also we're trying to figure out ways to improve the algorithm itself, to figure out the quality of the base. So we're, I think you saw it maybe in the campaign videos, we're able to spin LIMBO on a lot of different types of surfaces. And that's always fun. We're always trying to challenge ourselves. The guys in the office here are throwing me some really funky objects to try and spin it. So maybe later today we'll do some demonstrations on really, really funky vegetables and stuff like that. But maybe later on. First, I'd like to take your questions. If you have any, go ahead, type them in the chat box, and we'll try to answer to the best of our ability. Okay, I see we have another question here. So excited for this talk. I'm really happy to see you guys supporting your campaign with tons of information, background, now a live stream. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're really trying our best to be transparent and show you our progress, and also share with you some of the effort we put behind LIMBO. It was a really big effort to get to this point where you see LIMBO is spinning and it's doing it very, very smoothly. You see it's a very stable spin. That was a ton of work to get to this point. And basically what you can't really see is that LIMBO is adaptive, meaning that if you challenge it a bit, if you just try to slow it down or maybe make it stop, it will actually, the algorithm will feel that and step on it, step on the throttle and spin faster to compensate for the added friction. So basically we're trying to make it adaptive and figure out what's happening. Am I being challenged in some way and somebody's trying to stop me, or is the surface changing in some way? So that's a big deal. That's a lot of processing going on inside to try and figure out, what is the best velocity to spin at.
Do you have a next question?
Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. Can you hold one to show scale? Yeah, sure, absolutely. So this is LIMBO on the palm of my hand.
Show it next to next to your iPhone, maybe.
I can actually use the iPhone here and
maybe take off your ugly case.
Yeah, the ugly case, ignore it. Maybe with campaign funding, we can actually afford new cases for our phones. So this is LIMBO versus.
What iPhone is it?
This is a 6S version.
Yeah. 6, the small one.
That's, I don't know. It's not the Plus or something. Yeah. So this is an iPhone. This is the Limbo. This is Limbo Titanium. So it's
smaller,
slightly smaller. Yeah, and you can actually see the difference in the height of the top, which makes a very, very big difference in the quality of spin because the center of gravity is lower, and that is a big factor, contributing factor to a stable spin. I'll take the next question, I guess. So let's see. What is the lifespan of the electronics, and where would replacement be had? Okay, so basically, the lifespan of the electronics is not a limiting factor. I mean, maybe the lifespan of the battery, because the electronics can last 100 years and it wouldn't mind. The most important thing is the lifespan and the amount of cycles you can recharge the battery. And that would be approximately 800 cycles or so. I think that's where, the quality would suffer a bit in terms of like how much charge it can hold, etc. But I think if you're looking at the lifespan of Limbo and how many times would you be able to spin it, it's going to be a long while until you fill it or something.
2,400 hours before it's erased.
Yeah. So I guess you'd get really bored before Limbo is starting to suffer from a little bit of weak battery. All right. Let's see the next question. Will it survive a drop, and how much will it survive? Okay, so we dropped Limbo a lot, not like on purpose, but we just screw up so many times during development that it got a lot of hits. I mean, I'm willing to
we have the ball bearing.
Show you some stuff here. This is the tip, where the ball bearing is. I think the focus is pretty bad, but you can see that there's a ball bearing in here, and that's like the most miserable thing that suffers all the impacts, when we spin it and also when we drop it. So that's something that we try to figure out and maybe make it more robust and make it more shock absorbing, because as much as I would like to say Limbo is very robust, Limbo is a precision instrument. I mean, the tolerances inside this top have to be insanely accurate for it to spin very smoothly. Okay, and if you're dropping it a lot or just mishandling it or abusing it, it can suffer. So we're begging you to just show respect for your top. Obviously, it's a precious item, and we work a lot.
Also, we will offer the item separately.
Of course, you can have replacement parts. That goes without saying. But I think the main thing to remember is that this is a very precision crafted instrument. Okay, and I think you should know that, and I think you should keep it in mind when you use Limbo. All right.
Thank you, Brian, for subscribing. Thank you, Brian Wells.
Yeah. Each Limbo has its own unique characteristics. Does it mean that one of the particular materials will spin longer than the other? Okay, so I wouldn't say that it's like about the duration of the spin as it is about the way it looks and the way it feels in your hand. I mean, if you I don't know if you can see the titanium version, it's a lot more resilient to scratches and to denting. I mean, aluminum is softer material. We never managed to actually dent an aluminum Limbo, but I'm just saying it as something to remember. Titanium is much stronger, and also we were able to make it much thinner as a result. I mean, the whole envelope of Limbo, the case, could be milled to a very fine, thickness or thinness, I must say, because of the quality of the material. So it's undoubtedly different, those two versions, and we have surface finishes as well. So you can have it like in a gloss finish or a matte finish. That's a matter of taste, All right. So yeah, the people are sticking me like crazy fruits and vegetables here. So I think I'll just, let's do the challenge here and see how we can actually show you Limbo spinning on funky objects. So this is a pepper. A lot of the people in our office are vegetarians, so we have a lot of different vegetables around here. That's a difficult one. I think that's actually the first time we're trying to spin it on a pepper, and it's like beautiful, you know? Thing is, I think you can see that it's actually learning the surface now. I mean, Limbo is trying to adapt. It's actually adjusting its speed.
Yeah,
I don't know if the webcam can actually show that, but it's doing a little bit of tinkering, and the algorithm is figuring the surface quality, and you can see it spins. And it can spin for hours. Let's go for another question. All right, so going into my own question, could you show us what the Edc keychain looks like? Yeah, sure. What force does it take to release it out of the clip? Yeah, coming right up at you. So this is the Edc clip. As you can see, I guess I'll try to stop it from spinning. It's a nice thing to put on your keychain, and basically it snaps onto Limbo just like that. The insertion force is like a very crisp, you know, it's a lot of fun to actually pull it in or out. It just clicks in. And I think it's a nice carry-on, you know. We're toying around with people like crazy with this, you know. All right, so when dropped, do the halves pop open or apart? How do two halves seal? Okay, threaded tension, no. So let's talk about the halves, how actually Limbo is constructed. So let me open up one of them for you. Basically, Limbo is has a threaded mechanism inside. When we open it up, you can see the two parts, okay? And I don't know if the camera can actually see that, but there's a very fine thread in here where, you know, those two parts come together. And so you won't be able to just pop it up open when you're trying, when dropping it or anything like that. We were actually working really hard to make the parting line almost invisible between those two parts. So it would be like, you know, how does this whole thing works? That's the magic of Limbo, right? Let's see, what else? The tiny one is moving, tingling a bit, at least at the time of my writing. How is it going with battery? What is the standby time? Also, thanks for answering my last question. Okay, so yeah, the titanium one is still in development. We're figuring out like how to make it very well balanced. Of course, it's a little bit more challenging because of the envelope materials and, you know, how to mill it precisely. But it will be like the same spin quality as the aluminum one.
I think this is the mechanism for the aluminum. This is why it shakes it.
Yeah, I mean, if I'll try to open it, you would see that, you know, we use the same mechanism here. So obviously, it's not very well fitted for this one. It's still in the prototype phase.
We're gonna adjust the titanium version to the standard mechanism. But in this specific version, it's the old version. It was bigger. So
what he said. So basically, there's going to be a specialized version for the titanium one and a special version for the aluminum. And the world record version has its own circuitry and internal structure. So it's all like custom and bespoke versions for each one of those. Okay, pepper spin was awesome. Yeah, it is awesome. I mean, I'm still shocked that it's actually doing that because we never tried it before. It was like, yeah, let's try the pepper, you know? Good. When it was sitting idle on the table. Okay. Oh, sitting idle on the table with jitter. I don't know, but yeah, I think it spins nicely. Let's move on to the next question. Whoa, you're sabotaging the whole pepper spin, dude.
Oh, spin it on the table.
You want to do a table spin? Okay, let's
just clear the set a bit.
Yeah.
And also the keychain.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. So, blah, 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 okay, nice. Hi guys, thank you for this awesome product.
The limbo is running away.
Oh, he's running. Oh, come on back, dude.
No, the two of them. One of them is not at the top.
It's like
The close-up one.
yeah, that's why we have those special bases because limbos like to travel. You know, they would go places if you let them. So make sure you buy your base with the limbo. It's a lot safer that way.
Next.
All right, so questions. Hi guys, thank you for this awesome product. Yeah, have you considered wireless charging?
Yeah.
Oh my God, wow. You know,
a long discussion.
I wish we could do that because this is a metal object. It's a full metal object, meaning it's a full Faraday's cage, meaning that no electromagnetic radiation can either go in or go out of this. So wireless charging, unfortunately, is still impossible in this form factor. Maybe in the future there will be like a carbon fiber version or I don't know what. Then we can consider it. It would be super cool, you know. But for now, I'm gonna do. Sorry. Did you decide
Thank you,
about?
Christoph, for signing up.
Yeah.
Also, Fidianchik, something like that.
Thank you as well. USB-C. Okay, this one we get a lot. This one is a great question, and I'm happy that somebody asked it here because we can finally put it to rest. USB-C is something that we contemplated, and we were just recontemplating it, following a lot of requests from you guys. So I want to show you something. Okay, this is like the pre-production version PCB boards for Limbo. Okay, you can see here, maybe the quality is not that great, but you can see this is the micro USB connector, and this is the rest of the PCB with all the control electronics, etc. This is a product of labor of approximately 4 months of trying to figuring out the balance of the components on this board to make Limbo spin in a balanced fashion. We had to move around components to actually keep the thing, you know, balanced. So switching to a USB-C, meaning a complete redesign of the board, that's one. And two, it's much heavier and much bigger than the micro USB connector, okay? And that means that we are going into, you know, better Limbo because it's just heavier and unbalanced, and we will have to shift a lot of things around, and maybe it would be actually impossible to do it. So maybe in the distant future, absolutely not by the end of this campaign, but we take a lot of these questions and we're going to think deeply on how we can make it, you know, better and maybe support USB-C in the future. Next question. What made you think of inventing this? Oh my God, that was on a dark night.
In a dream.
In a dream. No, I think the whole thing was insanely like, we didn't believe that it's possible at first, and then we didn't believe anyone would like it. You know, we were just sitting in the lab and we were like, oh my God, this is actually working, and it took ourselves a lot of time to convince, you know, ourselves that it's actually sustainable and can spin for a long time. But then we thought only a bunch of crazy people would actually admire this.
So
you know,
thank you, crazy people.
Yeah, thanks a lot, crazy people, and thanks God for so many crazy people in the world, because we thought we're gonna be like, you know, 5 super fans going crazy over this, and then the bunch of us who love it, obviously, but nobody else would care. So I'm glad to be, you know, disproved about this, and I'm also glad that it's getting so much traction. But you know, it's just like one of those crazy moments of maybe we can make the Inception, you know, top come alive, you know. So we love challenging ourselves.
We're allowed to say Inception?
No, it's
Oh,
not.
no,
Like,
it's not related to
it's Inception. Like we had the Inception.
The word Inception.
Yeah, the
no,
word
not the
Inception.
movie.
We had like the Inception of making something crazy
I
like
think there
this.
was a movie called Inception.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with that.
Great.
Yeah. So okay. Our next question: how long are the early birds being kept open, please?
Yeah, we have a problem with that.
It's complicated.
It's complicated. We couldn't send all the emails that we promised the early bird prices. because of all the new email regulations. So we have to keep it live till we finish our mailing list. So yeah, they're still available. I think in the next 2 or 3 days. That's the.
All right. Next question. Can you make a smaller version for easy everyday carrying?
I don't know.
Listen, I'm just going to break it down for you. To cram all the stuff inside Limbo, it took us almost like 5 months to actually get this right. You know, there is a lot of stuff going on inside it.
Also, honestly, I like the size, so I don't know. We need to.
The size is cool. I mean, it feels great in your hand, and the whole thing is like very solid and very like confident, inspiring structure.
Do you want to compare it to? I'm sure you guys know Forever Spin. So this is. Let's drop it on the table. So our top is a bit bigger, but we prefer it this way, honestly.
Hey, they're struggling.
Yeah, let's see who
wins. That's like a dogfight. Place your bets, gentlemen, because we have two tops fighting over each other dominance, you know? So while they're struggling, I'll just say that being able to cram all these electronics inside was really difficult. I think we'll have to jump to a whole different scale of engineering to make it even smaller.
Maybe from plastic. Oh,
maybe.
We're losing him. No,
Yeah.
Never mind.
He's retiring. He's going away, but that's fine. We don't want to advertise too much the competition, right?
Yeah, they're not competition. We love Forever Spin. We think they have an amazing brand. We have all of the tops. It's just a different item.
It's just a different story, correct?
Yeah.
So, taking this and making it smaller, theoretically possible, would take approximately another 8 months of engineering, like intense work, to get this right. So maybe in the future. Next question. What are the weights of the different material options?
Always 15 grams.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I mean, the envelope is, roughly 8 grams on the aluminum version, and the total weight of the system is approximately 15 grams. And that was a result of some research we did. I mean, I think we could make them lighter, but I don't think we want to, because honestly, we struck this perfect balance of mass and spin quality, and I think we're going to keep it this way for a while until we find, a better way or a better formulation to make Limbo spin. So, what's next? All right, hey guys, great product. What about a switch on, switch off option? Maybe with a special move.
Yeah.
So we're aspiring to make it as simple as we can. And that means actually not having an on-off button or any gesture that would turn it on or off.
But
we want Limbo to.
We are thinking about it, be honest.
We are thinking about it, but for me, it's a fallback plan. Okay, I want to make the best product I can possibly make. And the best product would figure out that it needs to turn on. Okay, it figure out that
he asked him because he wanted to do a magic trick, like where he gives it to someone, he can do it.
Okay, and
we're working on it after we finish.
So disable, enable. You mean? Okay, that's a different story, because the biggest challenge we have with Limbo is power management. We want it to last as much as it can while it's not sleeping, while it's not spinning, because you would carry it around, you would try to, impress someone and pull it out of your bag after, a few days that you didn't charge it.
Have it spin.
And the thing is that Limbo needs to figure out, I'm sleeping, but now I need to wake up and actually start spinning. That transition has to take place in like fractions of a second, and it has to wake up from sleep, figure out the thing, and then start spinning.
It's a great answer, but it's not what he meant.
Yeah,
he meant this gesture. Yeah,
I get it, but I'm trying to break it down for you, like what we're trying to figure out.
We are thinking about gestures, and we are working on it, but it's not it's gonna take a bit time. We hope to finish it so we can deliver it with the extra features.
Well, I put it on the base because it's always traveling here. So basically, that's the answer. Let's move on. Any chances you have considered putting a small concave portion into the top of the limbo so you can spin one
on each other.
on top of each other.
No, but we can show him the trick that we did here. Yeah, so let's see if it will work. This is a half limbo. No.
This is crazy, man.
Too intense. Let's try it from the beginning. Let's go hard speed. Yeah. Let's see if it will work. Yeah, next
This
question.
is limbo piggybacking a limbo. Okay. Okay.
But move a bit. So
can we see the charger? Okay, so
the charger.
The charger.
Wow, that's the most boring part.
that's a fascinating part actually. It's like a feat of engineering by itself. Yeah, Nimrod is trying to fetch the charger. It's a very fancy thing.
We invented this.
This is like a patent pending thing, and you wouldn't believe how complex the engineering was on the charger. It's this, you see? It's a micro USB to a standard USB connector. You take your limbo mechanism, and you plug the micro USB in. End of story. Plug it into your laptop, I don't know, computer, phone charger, and you have limbo charging. That's it. That's the simple part. Okay, so let's see next. Well, thank you for answering.
I don't know if it's working, right?
Yeah, it's spinning like crazy. We're doing things that we never tried before here. So Ian, thank you for
we're gonna try another one.
Yeah.
See if it will fall, I'll add another one. Yeah.
Jeez Louise, man. Okay. Okay, please show us how to use it and what we would need to know to use it. Can you do a short tutorial? Okay, so guys,
if you've been to Peter's garden.
Yeah, it's
why did you stop it?
Because I want to show them how to use it.
Another one.
Forget about it.
No, I was.
So basically,
I was doing QA on the new feature.
QA, yeah, that's a new feature. That's a stretch goal. A limbo on a limbo. It's like a dream within a dream, So basically, limbo is just a standard top. Okay, you just take it in your hand and you spin it. End of story. It's spinning.
And it's accelerating. If you're not good spinner, it will accelerate.
Yeah, I mean, let's assume I'm like I suck at spinning, okay, and I don't spin.
And you didn't practice the last year and a half.
By the way, something happened. I lost all the questions all of a sudden. I don't know why, but my list is clear. Okay, so let's say I'm really a lousy spinner, so I'm just giving it a very weak speed. Limbo immediately figures that out, and it's just ramping up the speed, So it would compensate for you not spinning it so well, and just push up the velocity and let you spin it, even though you started in a very weak beginning. Let's try it again. You see, I'm starting very weak. It just stabilizes itself, and that's it. You can actually hear it. I don't know if we can have you like hear what limbo is doing. If you can hear the motor, I'll try to bring it really close and really piss it off, like slow it down. Maybe you can hear the motor now. It's like working very hard to stabilize itself, and once it is stable, it will lower the RPM and just let you enjoy a smooth spin. Let's move on. All right, so let's see. So next question. Okay. Thank you for that. Maybe it would be possible to choose between a long life mode and a magic trick mode. So you can decide how you want to use limbo. Okay.
We answered it, I think.
Yeah.
We are working on these features, but it's in the pipeline. And we want to do it too, honestly. But it's just a matter of what we can do before the campaign. Before we need to burn the chips.
Yeah, we need to figure out the priorities now, and I think
so.
First one is
stop the live stream and go over.
Yeah, get going. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to show us something scary?
Something scary.
Something scary. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a headless top.
That's the Limbo Freak Show today for you, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to bust our own balls here with freaky limbo action.
Next.
All right. So let's move on to the next question. Any flame TI version or
Maybe.
exotic materials? Okay.
So we had a problem with materials because we are very weight sensitive. This is why we work with aluminum and we work with titanium, where you can make it really thin. But stuff like Damascus steel and stuff like that, we have to really, push it to the limit of CNC machining in order to do it that light. So definitely yes in the future, definitely hard for now.
Yeah. Okay, does it come with a base?
So you can order the base. You can order without, because we know that many of you already have your bases. We did a relatively cheap and quality version, which is optimized for Limbo. So you can choose if you want to take it with the base or without.
All right. Thank you for the answer. Maybe it would be possible to choose between long life mode. Okay, yeah,
we talked about it.
We talked about it. Thanks for the half a limbo on limbo. Can you spin the limbo either direction? Well, the answer is yes. That's something that's we're currently working on. I mean, detecting the spin direction and activating the motor accordingly. But it's definitely going to be in the final version, and we're going to.
No, so we have it, but yeah, I'm sorry, what Tom said was correct, but we have it, but right now we're trying to optimize the spinning time for our demonstration, and detecting, you can explain better about it, but detecting the direction makes you operate the accelerometer more frequently.
In plain English, it takes more energy to detect your spin direction, and we're trying to optimize the algorithm to be as frugal as it can, so it wouldn't eat up the battery faster. That's the plain answer. We can do it. We do it. We just want to make it more optimized. Hope that answers the question. Let's see the next one. Can you show us dropping the limbo, please? Oh, we just did. I mean.
We can want to drop it on the table?
Can actually try to.
Let me show that.
Yeah. So.
Let's see if I can.
This is the limbo.
I didn't do it for a while. Yeah. Everybody's ready? I don't have place here as well. Well, we have about 50% that it will drop. Okay. So
it dropped.
It dropped.
Yeah, that was really.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, and then try another one.
All right. So I think we dropped it now. We can move on to the next limbo cruelty action today. How long the GWR battery is going to last? I know you're including 4 extra that battery can charge. Okay.
So 40 hours. We can do more, honestly, but we commit to.
I did.
No. Don't.
I was just joking. I'm sorry.
Don't overpromise.
No, I'm not.
It's much more than 40, but we want to offer the features also with the WR, and we haven't tested it yet. So 40 is really, really a safe place for us to guarantee, but it will do hopefully longer than 40 easily.
Yeah. So
just you can talk about the specs of the battery. This is using 55 milliamps.
Do we actually have the battery of the GWR?
Yeah.
So I can show them. Yeah. Let's.
Also, we can thank Tadiran again.
Yeah. So, Nimrod is trying to bring up like a battery for the GWR. Nimrod, can you actually bring the circuit, like the special circuit we built for the GWR? I think it's in the lab on the table.
Yeah.
Because that's something I want to show you. That was like insane amount of work. We worked like almost an entire day to manufacture each GWR that took the world record. It was a complete redesign of Limbo to make it even lighter than it is. So I don't know if you can see that, but we built the circuit on a piece of mylar tape. So the whole thing was just hand-built under a microscope. All the components were joined together with a soldering iron.
I don't know if they can see it.
I'm not sure you can see it, but you can see how thin it is and how light it is. I can barely feel I'm holding it right now, okay? That's the GWR special version circuit board. So we try to optimize and actually reduce the weight from this kind of board to this kind of board. Okay, it's actually transparent. You can see through it because it's so light and so thin. So that was one thing, and the reason we did it is because the GWR version is so much bigger than the version, like the standard version, that we had to save the weight and we had to shave it from other stuff on Limbo. So this is the GWR battery, just for a comparison. Yeah, I can just open up this. You can see that that's a LiPo battery inside Limbo. That's the GWR version. It takes almost the entire space of the circuit board and the battery, and also a little bit of the motor space, because it's so big. And that is, a super optimized version of Limbo, and I think eventually those of you who order the GWR will receive some really bespoke piece of hardware. I mean, I don't know if there's a factory who can manufacture it. I think maybe we will have to manufacture by hand, and each one of them will be hand built. It depends on how many GWR orders we take. So it would be something really, really special, I guess. All right, let's move on.
I'm ordering Chinese. Anyone want anything?
No, for Chinese. Why not? Why not? Did you address the question about using Limbo as a potential timer that would stop spinning after a certain period of time?
We're not going to talk about it. We definitely thought about it and thinking about it.
Yeah.
But please, next question.
Yeah, next question. I'm dying to tell you stuff now, but I'm going to shut up completely. Not a word from me. Not a word. Okay. Will it be waterproof?
Yeah, we received this question. So, I don't know, we can test it. Theoretically, it should, but it will not spin underwater. So, unless you want to dive and impress some fish, I don't see the use case. But the tolerances are so small on the ball bearing and also on between the cases. I think it's waterproof. Let's check it. I'll bring a glass of water.
This is like
Yeah.
pretty intense QA we're doing in front of people. I mean, yeah, that's why we're called Fearless Toys, right? Some fearless guys in here. Okay, so which programming language did you use for the algorithm? What was like to write the code? Okay, so basically the whole thing is working on embedded C, and it's not just writing the code. It was almost like co-developing the microcontroller, the system on a chip we used, because it is so new that we worked very closely with the company that built this chip to figure out how to make it work. It was, oh my God, you're actually going to do this.
That's our tester. That's a piece of toilet paper. Used toilet paper, of course.
Yeah.
We're going to put it in and shut it up. Shut up. Camera is here.
Yeah.
Ready? Oh, it's floating. There was a show with it float, I think. Oh, that's nice. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just like... We'll get back to it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is soaking in water now. Let's see what happens. Okay, so back to the question.
But keep it in the front.
Limbo was developed using embedded C, and it was built on a whole new type of microprocessing architecture. Yeah. And the thing is that to get it right, to get this to work, was a crazy amount of work, especially after we managed to fit together all the components and create the architecture. Then we came up to the algorithm itself, and we had to cram a very sophisticated algorithm, an adaptive algorithm, into a very small space. I mean, the RAM we have on this chip is approximately 2 kilobytes. When you write a text message to your friend, the whole encapsulated message is much larger than what we have in the RAM. And when you write like the shortest email, you surpass what we have in storage in the flash of this chip. So we had to be very, very frugal in code, and we actually had to do like 3 rewrites of the algorithm to squeeze it inside the space we had. It's quite a challenge, and if you see the black spots under my eyes, that's probably because of those
He's a whiner.
sleepless nights on the algorithm. Yeah. All right. So, what a nightmare. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Will the battery on the basic Limbo be replaceable?
No. There's no way to do it. There's no other products that do it when you use a rechargeable battery. The only option is to offer a connector, which is bigger than the whole space that we have inside. You see them only on cheap drones, these connectors, and it's just not physical. It's just not possible to do it, at least at this moment. But like you said before, we have like 800 cycles of the LiPo battery, which will provide you more than 2,400 hours of spinning. And if you reach this amount, we'll replace it for you. I don't think it's more than a year. Let's say if you do it like 10 hours
You're
a day.
a super user, probably.
Yeah,
just like a hardcore Limbo user.
You're gonna break a Guinness record of spinning.
Most definitely. All right. So, how long will GWR spin? I think we answered it. Approximately 40 hours, maybe more, maybe a lot more. I don't know. Waterproof could be helpful if you forget your Limbo in your jeans and wash it.
Okay, so let's check it.
All right.
You want to show me before we show it to the camera? No.
I would bet.
You're taking it now.
No. I'm just trying
keep it in the shot, please.
Yeah, I'm just trying to dry it a little bit because it's so slippery right now. I can't even open it. It's just, yeah. Maybe you can bring me this piece of toilet paper or something.
Don't replace them.
No.
These are magicians. They know what
the magicians. Yeah, of course. Big respect to magicians, but I'm not a magician. I'm just a lousy engineer, and I'm trying to figure out how to open this without having my hands
You're
slipping.
engineering magic.
So maybe you can use your beefy hands. Yeah.
Sorry for not doing the nail polish. Wow, it's so slippery.
Yeah, it's super slippery right now. So I one eternity later.
Yeah, I know. It's also this version.
Okay. I pressed. Okay, guys, sorry. Maybe there was a muted section.
I'm trying to know for how long.
Yeah, for how long? Okay,
wow,
so
you guys missed a lot of jokes.
Yeah, there was like a crazy part here. I think maybe you missed all the crappy stuff we said, but I will repeat the last thing I said was about setting your limbo on fire or trying to spin it next to some fire, okay?
Like we did on the wheel and spin video.
Never do that. Please, never ever do that. That's dangerous. There's a LiPo battery inside it. It can explode, it can inflate, it can damage your limbo, and it can really void your warranty. But worse than that, it can hurt you. So please, do not spin your limbo next to a fire or a heat source. I'm begging you, okay? Next. Yeah, so right as you successfully opened the limbo from the water test, we all lost audio. Okay, so audio is back. Good. The results were, by the way, that it was completely dried, and if you haven't noticed, we set it on fire to demonstrate that it was
Camera
dry.
was on.
Yeah, the camera was on. I hope you all saw that. Did you blow the candle up? No, there was no candle, guys. That was the piece of toilet paper we put inside the limbo when we dunk it into this glass of water.
Maybe he's asking about the wheel and spin video.
Oh, no. If you're asking about the wheel and spin video, it's fun, okay, on the candle, but do not try this at home under any circumstance, please. Is it able to fly to Mars and back? That's a question for Elon Musk, actually. You know, we should ask him, because I'd love to see it going to Mars. And if you can take me with him, I will bring the limbo and we all go to Mars together. Yeah. So, any other questions? Does it spin on your hand? The answer is a little bit. A little bit. It's
no,
fine.
you ask if it's spinning. If your skin is really, really tight, like this pepper, so it will. But if you're 34 years old, like me, it will not. But what I'm usually doing, I'm sticking a little sticker on it. Let me try to find one, and then you can spin it on your hand.
All right. So,
do we have a sticker?
Do we have? I think. Look in the drawers. I think under the table, perhaps you'll find one. Oh. So, let's do a pepper spin for a while. Okay. So. Yeah. Does it spin? What does the limbo weigh? So I think we talked about this, but it's roughly 15 grams, 16 grams, something like this. Where are you from, guys? Okay, so the development team is in Tel Aviv, in Israel, and the whole marketing operation is in the U.S.
New Jersey.
In New Jersey, to be precise. Let's see what are the next questions. Will it have an IP rating for waterproofness? Okay, so I don't think so. I mean, we don't recommend trying to, dip it in any kind of liquid. Although we just show that it's quite waterproof, but I don't think we're going to be able to certify it in the time we have. We're focusing on a lot of aspects of like how to manufacture limbo on a very large scale right now. So don't think we will manage to waterproof, like certify it for waterproofness. Next question, please. Oh, did you find a sticker?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
This is electronic tape. Just stick it to my hand. No sleeves. But I cannot spin on my. I'm not good with my left hand. Let's do it on the right. You can read the previous question, and I'll stand like here, like an idiot. Next question, please.
Next question. Can you show off a black matte version?
Yeah.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm using it to compare. I think your circus act played out very well.
It was just 1 minute.
It was amazing. But do you want to break the Guinness World Record of spinning it on your hand? Maybe on a different live stream. So those are the two versions. One on my right hand is like the lacquer finish, the clear coat finish.
Yeah, it really sucks on the video.
Yeah, I guess it would suck. But I mean, guys, you have the photos on the website. You have videos where you can actually see that in high quality. They're both beautiful. It's just a matter of taste, personal taste, whichever works out for you better. Just
Which one is spinning on my hand?
oh, geez, you're really obsessed with that, right?
Oh,
Right. Next question.
no, but it's not a beauty, not a nice picture.
Will it blend?
How will it
Will
blend?
it blend?
Actually, we thought about sending him one. He didn't answer. If any one of you know him personally, please. I think it would be really nice to do Will It Blend, and maybe try to spin his blenders. The Will It Spin.
Will it spin on the
Yeah,
blend?
we can do.
All right. Mhm. So it will not spin well on the glass lenses.
It will spin well, but not as crystal clear.
Concave or convex? Whether like
So if it's really concave, because Limbo has energy, it will eventually climb up. And this is something that really, shocked us at the beginning. Let me try to find one. But go for the next one.
all right, let's move on to the next question. Just came to my mind, could be potential problems when unscrewing it. Maybe an add-on to increase grip.
Increase what?
Grip when you're unscrewing Limbo.
No, the problem was the water, and also this version is not the final one. There's not going to be a problem. We didn't want to damage the external shape. So if you want to design a tool that will help you to open it, you would definitely need to damage the shape. So in order to keep it clean, we're not going to provide a tool, but trust me on this one, after you get the hang of it, it's very easy to just unscrew it. Of course, you need to know that it's a special top. If you give it to someone, they will never suspect that it's not a standard top.
All right.
Now, I want to show you what happens on a concave lens or a base. So this is a K9 glass base. I think it's from Kami. Yeah, it's called Spin Designs by Kami. A very nice base, but it doesn't really work well with Limbo because if you will see, it starts to spin, and because it has energy, eventually it will jump off the base itself. Just try to arrange the set. The nice robot. Here you see what happened? So Limbo actually works better if you put it exactly in the middle, and it has a flat middle, and the table is perfectly balanced, so it will stay in the same spot. But if it has a cave, it will eventually spiral out. Yeah, next one.
I think somebody asked what's the diameter.
I think it's 40 millimeters. It's definitely on the website. So thank you.
All right. Are you planning a nuclear drive for it to rise driving time to several billion years? Yeah, sure. I mean, let's make it a stretch goal. I think there was like a $500 million. Let's make it like the $1 trillion stretch goal.
Yeah, let's see if we'll hit 5 million.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to talk a bit about the packaging? You guys want to see the prototype of the packaging? Here you go. So this is handmade. This is a prototype, a very ugly prototype, but basically it presents the concept. So you're going to have the graphic. It's going to open. Everything is going to be black. It's going to be black matte. It's not going to be shiny. So it's going to be more prestige. And inside, when you open it, you're going to see the Limbo sits right like this. And here you will have the keychain, like this. Oops. You'll have the keychain sitting inside of the case. And also you will have the USB cable wrapped inside. And the base, for those who order the base, it's going to come with a different packaging.
Good. I want it badly. Yeah, me too. When did you say shipping will start?
So we hope to start it on November, but we committed for December 2018.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. All right, next one. Beautiful. Any news on the keyring for titanium?
Yeah, so it's just a matter of orders. The molds for the keychain is expensive, extremely expensive. So if we'll have enough orders, and I'm talking about nearly 1,000, we'll be able to offer it. But for now, because the shape is different and the molds are extremely expensive, we just can't do it at the moment. It just doesn't make sense. It will cost more than the top.
Yeah.
If only a few dozens or even hundreds will offer it. So sorry about it, but let's hope that we will have enough orders and we will provide the keychain.
All right, next one. Is it possible to start it as a left-hander? Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
We talked about it.
Yeah. Yeah. The short answer is yes. Not too familiar with a 3D printing, but it would be cool to print your own design.
Yes, you can do it. You can do it. And it's something that we're going to mention in our next updates. We want to encourage other top creators to create their own designs. And actually, 3D printing is perfect for it because the material is very lightweighted. So yeah, definitely yes. We're going to show the dimension of the external.
Yeah, the limbo core.
Yeah.
All you need is the limbo core, and you can print around it whatever you like.
And
basically,
we're also going to consider selling only the mechanisms. So if you want to order more mechanisms, this is also something that we're looking at, that we're thinking about. Last thing, because the algorithm is programmed to keep the speed and not the power of the motor, even if you're a bit lighter or a bit heavier, the top will adjust to the correct speed. So it will work out of the box.
Yep. Next question. I think we answered this one already. Why charging by USB connection? Why not wireless like Qi? Well, basically, we already said that that's like a full metal object. That's a Faraday's cage, so you cannot get electromagnetic energy in or out of it. So
yeah, we didn't want to sacrifice the design.
It's just like if you have a plastic or a carbon fiber limbo, then you can do that. All right. Maybe you can add files for 3D printing the keyring too.
Yeah, you can definitely. That's a great. Who said it? What's his name?
I think it was Alfonso.
Alfonso, was it you? If it was you, say hi. So that's a brilliant. I'm ashamed, but we didn't think about it. Yeah, so definitely we will design a 3D printed version, and maybe we'll even manufacture it by 3D and offer it. But yeah, that's a smart move. I'm ashamed that we didn't think about it, so definitely we'll do.
All right. Good talk. Alfonso says hi.
Yeah, thank you.
Which option is the most durable?
Let's talk about different type of durability.
Yes.
So the mechanism is the same. Scratch proof, I think the
Titanium takes it big time, yeah.
Yeah, I think for the other things like dropping it, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if it's the aluminum or the titanium. Also the coating, I don't think it's, if you're talking about scratches, I think it's similar to the powder coating and to the pure aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't see difference, and these models are 3 months old, I think. I don't see difference.
Yeah, we put them through a lot of abuse.
And I put them into my pocket. At first I used to isolate them using, a special fabric or something. Now I just have like 5 tops in my pocket. It's really impressed the ladies. So,
really?
Yeah, I don't think that it's much different scratch proof. So basically, I don't think you should worry about the durability of Limbo.
All right. Well, next question too. How about designing a 3-axis gimbal for it?
Can you explain? Or you're
you
talking about kind of a
like,
pyramid that it stands above it? Or can you just...
Yeah, please elaborate more. We're not sure we're getting the question. Can it replace my wife's love? All right. That's... Maybe you want to spin on the other part?
I don't know. Let's try.
This one is difficult. Eh?
The other
Go,
part,
go.
yeah, but it says short.
I know.
Continue, answer him.
Yeah. Just,
And we can say that we spend more time with the limbos than with our girlfriend in the last year. So definitely it can replace.
although not heavily recommended, I know this is recorded, so
Maybe you want to say.
yeah. I mean, Sivan, I love you. It has nothing to do with the fact that I spent more time with limbos during the past half a year. Still love you a lot. Okay. Will the thing be CE certified? Wait. This one is important. Will the thing be CE certified to get it delivered to Europe? I know that German customs office holds deliveries in the case of missing CE certification.
No, we're going to have CE, we're going to have FCC.
Okay, so yeah, basically the whole thing about certification is something that we are working towards. There is an entire process involved of getting a UL and a CE certification, and that's definitely on the roadmap. So obviously those models shipped to Europe or those to the US will be certified with the appropriate certifications. A 3-axis gimbal, like the simple gyroscope one can purchase in a toy store. That's following up on the previous question.
I think he meant the one that you put in and then it can move like in a sphere. I think I know. Are you talking about the one that you pull off the rope and then it spins and then you can put it on stuff? I don't know who am I asking, but
yeah, this is Schmidt. It's an interesting question. I'm not sure I'm still getting it.
I don't think it's possible.
The full meaning of the question,
No, there's a type of gyroscope on the market where you pull it off and then you have a ring.
Yeah, you can put it on a rope.
Yeah. So no, definitely no, because it works completely different. It doesn't have the mass needed. So sorry, I'm disappointed myself as well, but it's not possible.
Will it clear TSA checkpoint?
What?
The TSA, the guys who scrutinize you before you go on the plane. Like,
I have no idea.
I know. I guess
No, I have no idea what you just tried to explain to me.
Oh yeah, well, in the US when you go on board a plane,
you
go through this safety checking where
if you're carrying
it
shouldn't. Yeah, it shouldn't be any problem. Like I mentioned, we want to sell it to Walmart, so we're gonna have all the certificate needed. So don't worry about it, especially in flight. Yeah, you can take it with you. I'm traveling with Limbo in the last year. I've been to Hong Kong, China, US, Europe, even Turkey.
Yeah.
So I've never been asked, and it's always in my carry-on on my bed because I'm afraid to lose it. So even without the certificate, it's not going to be a problem, but we're going to have all the certificate printed on the packaging as needed.
Good.
Probably on here.
That's good. Now,
next.
I see that people like this.
Why?
Yeah, just let's put it on the base. Guys, a question to you now. Is there any physicist in the house? Like anyone here who has like a master's or a PhD in physics? Because we are curious about some stuff going on
that we don't understand.
That we're not fully understanding about the way Limbo works, And we would love to share it with you. We have a bunch of questions ready for you guys if you're up to it, and if you're like a qualified or a certified physicist, just go ahead and shoot us something in the chat.
Let me guess. There are 32 people on this,
and they're all like full Harvard PhD.
No, but I'm assuming that everybody's going to declare their, full stock engineer.
What work is remaining? This looks great as it is to me. Yeah, well, those are prototypes, and there is an entire process moving from prototype to a product called DFM, Design for Manufacturing. So what we did here is create a few hundreds of Limbos just for our own purposes to test. But going on full-scale production, that's a whole different story, okay?
But it's the same, it's the process that every item has. It's not something unique for Limbo.
It's nothing special in terms of like the industry.
It's just time and money.
That's the missing part. That's what we're working on right now.
That's why we need the Kickstarter also for the CNC machining.
Correct.
Maybe this is something that we need to emphasize because a lot of, I get this a lot by mail. Like, why do you need a Kickstarter? But I want them to see the top, not on your background. I asked him to come with a clear shirt. He didn't listen. Sorry for that.
I would just blend that with the background. You know,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Just
So
color key me.
why do we need a Kickstarter and why is it so expensive? So Cincy, if you would go to a Cincy factory and just listen, I want this casing, just one, it would cost between $2,000 to $3,000 because the most expensive part is the setup. You have to set up the machine, and it's not just load the 3D files that you have, because it's a really, really long process. It takes about half a day for doing just one part, and Limbo has two parts with the screws and everything. So definitely, this is not the one item that you can manufacture. If you want to do 100, you would go to a certain machine. The setup would be different. You would pay less. You would pay a few $100s per item, but this is for hundreds because it's going to take one by one, and the worker has to upload the raw material that it will shape. If you want to do thousands, you can only do it in China. Not even, we didn't find a place in the States. And again, it's a different setup, and it has a machine that automatically fills up the bar of the aluminum or the titanium. And this setup is much more expensive. And these factories would not work with you unless you put at least 5,000 units order, which costs more than $100,000. And this is why we needed a Kickstarter campaign. And this is why we're here with you guys. And this is why we really appreciate your support. So thank you. And let's go move on to the next question.
Yeah, that was a very long answer to a very short question.
Okay. Order food.
Yeah. All right. You should collaborate with Physics Girl on YouTube. I'm sure.
I love her. I just got.
We're
I don't
like,
know if you can see it, but let me
we
show
adore
you.
you, Physics Girl.
Let me show if I don't know if you can see this, but this is the notification. I just pressed on it by accident, but this is the notification from Physics Girl. I'm in love with her. If anybody knows her, please send me her home address. No, I'm kidding.
Furthermore, Physics Girl, if you're actually watching this or will ever watch this, we're challenging you to help us figure out the governing dynamics behind Limbo, and we will cooperate with you.
Also, Vsauce, also Smarter Every Day.
Yes.
Also, everybody who's
I'm really, really curious to collaborate with people to fully understand what's going on inside.
It's not like we didn't try, but there's still.
We have some of the equations. We don't have the full, dynamic equations for this.
Like, let's be honest. Most of the development was trial and error.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same as flight. People were flying in the air 60 years before the math was figured out on how flight works.
So maybe in 2017.
Yeah, we will have like the answers for
We'll have the knowledge.
Right. So.
We have about 10 minutes. So
10 minutes to go, guys. Okay. Is there a warranty?
Yeah, 1 year standard warranty. This is what we're obligated by law.
Mm-hmm.
And we will offer all, like Limbo is, let's say, 4 parts or maybe 3. So we have the 2 case parts, we have the ball bearing, and we have the internal mechanism. So even after a year, if something happened to the ball bearing or something happened to the mechanism, or you just want a new case, we will offer each of the items separately. So,
yeah. All right. So, Physics Go collaboration would be awesome. I agree. Actually, anyone who's up to the challenge of figuring out the physics, I promise to send him a signed version of our prototype, signed by all the design team, if he managed to figure out the physics behind Limbo. If all the equations are right and true, he gets a very, very special, limited edition of Limbo. All right. How it works? Obviously, it's magnets and aliens.
No.
All right.
Yeah, there's a small mouse inside.
Yeah.
On the wheel.
Hamster on a wheel.
No, we cannot. We understand how it works and we can explain, but there are some parts that we don't understand.
Yeah.
So explain a bit about the momentum.
Let's talk a little bit about the dynamics behind Limbo.
Give him the skateboard example, please. When you jump off the skateboard, it goes back.
I don't know if the skateboard is what I'm going to use, but let's try to put it in layman's words. Okay. So how does a regular top works? basically on the principle of preservation of angular momentum. Okay, that's a very big word for something that we're all experiencing on our day-to-day lives. And the deal is that when you spin it up, it just wants to keep spinning. Okay, and if you try to interrupt it in some way, like friction, or if you touch it, or you do anything like this, it would try to counteract that action. Okay, and keep spinning. That's called preservation of angular momentum. And that's how tops have been spinning for thousands of years. Like this guy here, which has no mechanism and it just spins. It spins on that principle. Okay. Now limbo is spinning on this principle and then some. Okay, it's spinning on conservation of angular momentum, and then something that is kind of I don't know, a combination between using resonance, like the self resonating frequency of this metal body, and the fact that we are using an asymmetric flywheel motor. Okay, because if you're using a spinning disc, right, and you would try to spin limbo with a regular spinning disc, I'm not sure this is going to work so fine for you. The whole magic about limbo is the fact that we're using this asymmetric flywheel. It looks like half a moon or something, okay? And it creates vibrations in the chassis. So it has a spinning action and it has a vibrating action. And that vibrating action is actually something that has to do with the fact that limbo is constantly trying to counteract those vibrations, and it accelerates as a result, okay? And those movements, those frequencies sent through the body are the thing that drives limbo to go faster if we just spin faster, this asymmetric flywheel.
Can I try to explain in just one sentence?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let's pretend that this is a skateboard, right? When you jump off a skateboard, it goes back because the equation of all the powers in the system are zero. When you jump, let's say you weigh 100 kilos like me, and the skateboard weighs only 1 kilo, it will go 100 times faster than you. This is called reserve momentum law, preservation of blah, blah, blah.
But that's like linear motion, right?
Yeah, this is linear. What
motion
happens in limbo is quite the same, but on a circular X, which means that the motor inside is spinning the other direction. It weighs much less than limbo, but it spins much, much faster. I think 10K RPM. Limbo spins at a K RPM. So when you spin it, the accelerometer detects the direction of the spins and spins the motor the other way around. And this what gives the momentum to limbo to continue to spin. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well,
now let's vote. If you liked Tom's explanation,
no,
please,
I mean,
please dial 1.
The only problem,
and if you like mine, dial 2.
The only problem is that explanation would work with a fully symmetric flywheel, which we don't have. I mean, that's the thing we're constantly debating about. That's why
should we try
physics girl or anyone who's like really good in physics to help us figure this one out. Okay. All right, I'm curious, is the ball bearing stationary relatively to the ground? Also, hi from Herzliya.
Hi.
Shalom. Okay, so yeah, the ball bearing is actually fixed to the chassis of limbo, and it's like not welded, but very well fixed. So it's rotating in the same velocity that the whole body of limbo
is. Yeah, it's like the chassis. We just put it on to absorb the faults.
It's reducing the friction, because it's a very smooth object, it's a very smooth ball. And basically it's a lot more rigid than aluminum, so it can suffer a lot more abuse, All right, so next one. Collaboration with Smarter every day would be awesome.
True, yeah, we love Dustin.
Yeah, Dustin is awesome. So if he's watching it by any chance, Dustin, you're more than welcome to help us. Yeah, so I think they're out of questions, guys.
Wow.
I think we managed to survive almost an hour and a half of a live broadcast. Who would believe? And also Limbo survived. Take a look at this champ. I mean,
Let's try.
I think it can go on for another 3 hours or something. Oh my God, here he comes. Here he comes. Oh my God.
Yeah, let's say. Continue.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. So while he's doing this sabotage act of his, I'm gonna try them and spin it on different surfaces. Let's bring on this tablet case here. Hope you can see it, guys. So this is like a standard tablet or laptop case.
Whoa.
And if you spin Limbo on it, it would try to figure out the surface. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to bring it closer to you. Actually,
Check it out.
works for you?
Work.
What? What are you? Oh my God.
No,
Dude.
never. Continue.
So yeah, Limbo is adjusting to the surface, is trying to learn like the quality and the roughness of the surface, and it's just adjusting its algorithm and spinning on this, very soft, very yeah. That's another way to do it. You just drop it from the air and then it spins.
Okay,
By the way, no. You should try this one.
No, it doesn't work.
I don't know.
No,
Let's see.
Currently, it doesn't work. We're working on it. I was so happy that nobody asked this question. Now you.
I mean, you're sabotaging the whole lab here right now. So
okay,
I'm just going to try and
So yeah, that's a question you didn't ask, but thanks to Tom, yeah, it doesn't work the other way around, but we are working on it.
whip, work in progress, right? All right. Could we see a close-up, side-by-side comparison? Jesus, dude, man, what the? We just filled everything with water here. I mean,
Not everything.
no, it's like, it's a good thing some of this stuff is actually waterproof.
Yeah, like the pepper.
Like the pepper, yeah, like the pepper.
We have a waterproof pepper. Where's
So-
the Limbo that works?
This one, I think it used to work before all this splashing occurred. So, what?
Yeah.
What are you up to, dude?
Yeah, but the camera is not as good.
That's like a daredevil act now. You want me to put
Yeah.
the camera?
Yeah,
or
let's
something?
try to fix it. Put it on the computer and
Yeah,
do it from the top.
I'll try. Sorry, guys. Hang on a second.
This is our first live stream ever, not
Yeah.
just.
It's amateur hour on steroids.
So we have here. It's not tape. You want to explain my beautiful setup?
Yeah, this is a crazy guy trying to do some really crazy guy stuff at like midnight almost. So this is how it would go day to day, where he's losing it and trying some crazy fearless stuff. Yeah.
Oh, try to move it to the middle.
I just have to mention I have to put up with this behavior like every day. Okay.
Oh. Special effects.
Maybe you tilt
No,
the
it's
glass
okay.
a little bit.
No, let's give it. But I think the angle that we're looking for is maybe like this. Yeah, just hold it. On the pepper.
Okay.
Yeah, before we get completely crazy, any more questions? Or we
Yeah,
gonna-
there is actually a question of a side-by-side comparison
To what?
of the aluminum limbo and the titanium limbo.
Okay, so we'll do it simultaneously.
So the camera is standing on a pepper right now,
Yeah,
filming the limbo spinning on a glass full of water. I mean,
we should have brought sharks to the
where are the freaking sharks with the freaking lasers?
next one. I promised you goldfish.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get back to the
Comparison,
questions.
yeah.
So titanium versus aluminum. Okay. So guys,
So these are not the final versions. So there's going to be, especially not the titanium one, but it's a bit smaller. Show him in profile. No, not like this. Yeah.
yeah, you getting it?
Separate them a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's
Yeah.
enough.
I think you get it.
We'll put a picture.
By the way, this is the titanium one, and this is the aluminum one.
Yeah, I also gonna put in the comments on the Kickstarter page. I'll put a high quality photo.
Yeah. Would be much better, I guess. All right.
I think that's the peak of the video. I think we should.
Yeah, that's the highlight.
Anyone last
Obviously.
important question? If not, we want to thank you all. It's been amazing. I'm not talking about this video, which was awful, obviously, but I'm talking about this whole journey. So thank you very much from me, Yossi, and also from this handsome guy, Tom Ben Yehuda, which is the CDO and the model of Fearless Toys. Last questions, if we are going to receive. If not, we're going to finish this in 5.
Yeah, I think
4.
maybe there is like this question of does it consume current when it's not spinning?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
That's the ideal mode.
That's the standby current, and
But
we're
it's
trying to reduce
milliseconds,
it.
milliamperes, so
Microamperes.
microamperes, so at least a few weeks, right?
Yeah. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. I mean, we've been an hour and a half on air, and I think there were like awesome questions here today, and some awesome acts of heroism by Limbo. So we're wishing you all good night.
You know what?
Good afternoon.
Let's just leave it and go.
Wherever you are.
So we're gonna leave it like this.
And we're just
We're
gonna
gonna
buzz
take
off. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna buzz off. Hopefully it will last. I don't know what's the battery situation.
We're signing off, guys. Have a great night, and you're welcome to keep watching Limbo spinning on the edge of oblivion. Bye.
Zoe. Take out the chair. Oh yeah, put mute. But take off the chair from the front, please. Hi guys, if anyone out there, just please send us a message so we'll know that we should keep it on. Thank you.